It's only $59.99 for a single. Hi guys, my name is Akiko and today I'm going to be talking about affordable wearable breast pumps. So right now there are two main ones that a lot of people are familiar with, and they are the Willow and they are the Elvie. But when it comes to the Willow and Elvie, it's pretty pricey. It's $4.99 and a lot of people start to think, is it really worth it? So I was looking up on Amazon and found a great deal. This right here, it's from Carer Health and it's only $59.99 for a single. So $59.99 versus $4.99. It's like, wow. And I have to let you know, it's much more bulkier, but everything else is the same. So I'm gonna go over it, so let's get started. To give you an overview, I'm gonna be going over what's included in the box, the parts, output, suction power, the noise, the battery, and lastly, my opinion about it. So what's in the box? So first of all, this right here. All right. And then let's open the box. Since it's a single, it's gonna have one micro USB cord, and then it's gonna have a bra strap extender, and then the valve instruction manual, and then it also comes with a leak-proof pad. I honestly did not use this, but there's two that comes in the box. And 4 milk bags, and then a bag where you can put the wearable breast pump in. So pretty helpful. And let's go over the parts. So here it is. The motor can be detached to the plastic. So this is the motor, so I'm gonna put this on the side. And let's get started with this milk container. So first of all, when I peel it apart, we have this milk container. And something cool about this milk container is that it can hold 180 milliliters. So what does that mean? That means it can hold 6 ounces. And the Elvie can only hold 5 ounces, including the Willow, unless you have Generation 1 Willow, which could only hold 4 ounces. So Elvie and Willow can only hold 5 ounces. This can hold 6. And I have to say, I have done 6 and it's amazing. Amazing. So right here, so it's a plastic milk container. Then I'm gonna just pull this apart. This is the breast shield. I think they call it a silicone diaphragm, but it's pretty much the breast shield. They come in 3 different sizes. So this is a 27. They always come in a 27. And because I'm a 24, I just have to insert this silicone insert in there. And it will come with this in the box. So just to let you know, if you choose a 24, then it will come with this. If you choose a 21, then it will also come with a 21 attachment. And if you're a 27, you do not have to use anything, and you just use this. And that's it. So that's that. And then it also comes with the flange. Then it comes with this connector thing, and the valve is hooked onto this connector. So this is the valve, and they give you an extra valve as well. So let's go ahead and assemble this, because assembly is very important to prevent leakage. I have to say, the very first time I did it, I didn't assemble it correctly, therefore I was leaking. But after I pretty much figured out why I was leaking, honestly never had a leakage problem. And also to add on to that, I use this at work all the time and I never had a leakage problem as well. And I'm a nurse, so I'm walking around the unit. I'm a floor nurse, so I am literally doing patient care, boosting patients up, and I never had a leakage problem. So hopefully that helps. So let's get back to assembling. So we go ahead and hook on the valve. Then we place the flange, then the breast shield. So this is the most important part. Right here, if you can see, there's a little hole right here. So what you want to do is align this with the flange and the valve. So you have to make sure this hole and the valve at least are aligned. So they're aligned in a straight line. And then just gonna push it in. So like so, hole, valve. Everything is aligned in a straight line. After you do that, you take your milk container, and this milk container also has a hole right here. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna align that hole with this hole, and it will make an oval right here. So once you do that, you just push the edges inside so that it clips in. And then once you do that, you're gonna stick your finger in, you can do your thumb, and you're gonna push up so that the flange is placed against the milk container. So this step is very important because if you miss this step, then you're not getting adequate suction power. So we'll just go ahead and do that when you attach the motor onto this. Because if the flange is separated from the milk container and the motor, then it's just not gonna suction at all. So that step right here where you press up is very important. All right, and so what I like to actually do is I like to separate this and then place it inside. Let's see, so place it inside and then place this on top. So that's personally what I like to do. Some people just like to just assemble it all together and then just place it all together. So it's really a preference issue. You can take it apart and then put it in, and then or do it all together. And moving on to how it looks. So I want to go ahead and place it in, and I'm going to show you how it looks. So I'm going to use this t-shirt. All right, so like I said, I do it separately. And then I just put this on top. So let me see if you can tell. So, I mean, here. So this is my boob, and you know, that's what, like that much maybe of a difference. So it's pretty big, not gonna lie. And I'll just, you know, if I want to cover up the motor a little bit more, I'll just bring up scoop my bra on top, and then that's how I kind of do it. And you know, if you have a shirt like this, it's kind of, you know, it's not that bad actually. All right. So that's how it is. I hope this helps. And then what I do is I just take out the motor, take out this, and another good thing about this is you don't have to even take it apart. It actually comes out of this hole. The hole that I was talking to you about as far as assembling. So what you do is you just go ahead and just pour. It's a nice and easy pour, wherever you need to pour it. Whether you need to pour it into a bottle or whether you need to pour it into the milk storage bags. So hope this helps. So moving on to output. I have the same amount of output that I did with the Elvie and with the Spectra. So that kind of says a lot. So this suction power is pretty legit. And going into suction power, there are 5 levels of suction, and I usually use 4 and 5. With the Elvie, I tended to use the middle setting, which is like 4, 5-ish, 4, 5, 6 sometimes, but mostly I stayed in the middle. With this one, I actually go higher, so I use the 4th or the 5th setting, depending on how sensitive my nipples are. And it gives me the same amount of output, so how great is that for a cheaper price? So now let's move on to noise. So as far as noise, I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it on for you. So I have to say it's not silent. It's not as silent as the Elvie, but it's pretty close to most likely the Willow, maybe slightly louder than the Willow. So, I mean, if you're doing stuff like at the hospital setting, honestly, no one really notices unless we're like quiet. I'm in a room and everything's quiet, and then people will know. So I just want to let everyone know that people will know if it's in a quiet room and this is the only thing that's running, they're gonna know that something is bumping or something is like, they can hear something. So just to let you guys know. And also, this also has a stimulation and an expression mode. So this is the expression mode. So this is the stimulation. So it just has like, this is a very light section, and then at the very end, it'll give you a harder section. So light, then it gives you that harder suction. And then when you get your letdown in and everything is good, you can press it again. And then you can start pumping. This is very similar to the Elvie, where it holds onto your nipple and then it let goes. It holds onto your nipple, then it let goes. It's not like the Willow where it kind of holds onto your nipple and then it tries to express your milk from there. It's very similar to the Elvie in that way. All right. And you can go ahead and adjust the intensity. There's a plus mark and there's a minus. So 5 settings and plus or minus, okay? And unlike the Willow and the Elvie, it does not have an app, so you can't control it with your phone. I personally never had a problem with that. So if you're very into the app and wanting to control the motor with your phone, then this may not be your option. So just to let you know. All right, now let's move on to battery. So as far as battery, it is advertised that this will pump for at least 80 minutes. I've never had to do it for 80 minutes. I've just done maybe a few sessions and then I'll go ahead and charge. So you can at least do 60 minutes and you'll still have battery. And then when you charge it, it will take within 2 hours. They advertise that if it's completely out of battery, then it will take about 2.5 hours to charge fully. So I just never had it die down on me. So I usually just plug it in when the light is red. And when I plug it in with the micro USB cord, it charges within 2 hours. So not too much of a charging time. It's super cool. You go ahead and lift up this tab right here and then just plug it in the USB cord, and then when you're done, you just go ahead and push it back in place, and honestly super easy. And also, I just want to let you know that this also has a 20-minute shut-off timer in it, already embedded in it. So if you're using for over 20 minutes, it will just shut down completely. So if you still want to continue the pumping, you just have to press the power cord again and it will pump, okay, for another 20 minutes unless you press it to stop. All right. So lastly, my opinion about this. I personally love it. I absolutely love it. I feel like I have less leakage with this, to be honest with you. I mean, with the Elvie, I didn't really have that much leakage even to begin with, but this is like it was just the first learning curve that I had to go over because of the assembly. It was leaking. So after I figured out why it was leaking, I honestly never had a leakage. And like I mentioned before, I use this at work. Right now, it's super busy at the hospital. So really, it's very hard for me to just go to the lactation room to pump. As much as I want to do that, it's just not realistic right now, just because it's super busy at the hospital. So what I do is I just pop these in and I just work. I just do my patient care. I boost the patients up. No problem, no leakage. I continue to care for my patients and there's never been a leakage. So if that helps in any way, great. So my honest opinion is I would definitely recommend this for $59.99 versus $4.99, definitely. So the only downfall with this is the size. So it's pretty bulky. It's slightly bigger than the Willow, but honestly, it's kind of like you're big versus you're kind of big. So I don't know if it makes that big of a difference, and that it doesn't have an app. But I'm not a person that needs the app to function, so it didn't really matter. It was a no-brainer for me to just purchase this and to use it. So I hope this helps. All right, well, good luck on your breastfeeding journey and your pumping journey, and see you soon. Bye.